The state of Naruto Storm Connection is pretty sad to say the least. Like, I have just went back to Naruto Storm Connection after a long time, since 1 week, and it took me 5 minutes just to get into one match, and I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. I mean, even though the game hadn't gotten the reception that 62 most likely would have wanted, they were probably expecting more, but for this to resolve in months later for matchmaking to be this bad is quite a shame, and this is such a shame because like Naruto Storm Connections, it was a possible. It could have been a possible great anime game, and it could have like actually rallied all the Naruto Storm Connection fans out there, or the Naruto Storm OG fans out there in the world. But I don't really think it really did that efficiently because even right now again, I'm playing on the Steam version, so maybe that's why there's not many players. Maybe there's more players on the console version, but at least for Steam, there is not that many people here. I had tried multiple times to get a match, and while I had had some good matches in between sets, the the path to get to those matches is such a burden because you have to wait so long for one match that it kind of kills the mood, and that's what kind of killing the game in my personal opinion. And I just don't see this game actually have a long lifespan. Like I know we just got Hagoromo like last year. I mean not last year, last month. And but the thing about Hagoromo is like Hagoromo's a cool character. I fuck with Hagoromo, but it's just Hagoromo. It's the thing. Like a lot of fighting games, they usually drop two DLC characters at a time. And for a game that already had a bad start with no custom matches, with a lot of changes that people weren't exactly receptive to, or the lack of story mode, a lot of people weren't really receptive to this game. So for just one character every so often, it's not really gonna help its favor. If it was a healthy game, I think that they would be able to get away with just one character uh, per DLC. I think a lot of people will be able to tolerate it, but if it's just this, then not many people are going to really pay attention, in my personal opinion, and especially with the fact that the matchmaking is not that great. It's just the fact that, like, for Naruto Storm 4, we have seen it get a decent amount of DLC, which I highly doubt Naruto Storm Connection is ever going to see the light of day, because with Naruto Storm 4, we have gotten so many different iterations, whether talking about the Road to Boruto, the Boruto expansion, Shikamaru, Gaara, Sound 4, all that DLC, with all the sub-stories that build upon the world of Storm 4, we're not going to get that same treatment on Storm Connection. I just don't ever see that being the case because Storm Connection, it's just not like a fully, to my opinion, it's just not a fully fleshed out game. Like, it works here and there. I have fun with the game here and there, but it does not compare to the likes of Storm 4. And you could really see that if you go on something like Steam Source, and there are more people playing Storm 4 than Storm Connections, and it just really frustrates me how with Storm Connections, it is so slow at getting the ball rolling that I don't think nobody's really going to talk about the DLC characters like that. Like I don't really care about, like again, I don't really care to talk about Hagoromo. And the other thing about that is like the combat. I still think Storm 4 is good, and the combat in Storm Connection is decent, but it doesn't compare to like the Storm 4. And what I mean by that is like there are certain characters that like they can just start up the jutsu just like that in the middle of battle, and just pretty annoying. Now with Sarada, I mean I can learn. Now maybe I'm trash at the game, so I take it with a grain of salt. But with someone like Sarada, her Chidori is like very annoying. Like like if I was playing like seriously and wasn't rusty, I could find a workaround, a way around that. But it is kind of annoying how have these people who are just spamming these like instant jutsu, and just kind of annoying and get kind of more the experience of the multiplayer, especially when you have the spamming people who have these OP jutsus, and the combination of slow matchmaking time, and it just killed the hype of the game entirely. And we've seen people talk about that a lot during the launch week of the game, and we're still having that problem today. And it doesn't necessarily bother me all that well because I mean, it comes with the territory. You're gonna have to deal with it. Deal with it. Though I do wish CC2 on their part would have foreseen this or done more QA testing with the durability of their moves, with the OPness of their moves, and like see how to balance them out properly before the game came out. But the fact that we're getting the game in this state, it's just kind of a sad sight to see. And it's just sad to see how the Naruto Storm franchise has resulted in just this, and especially where when arena fighters these days are just not doing well at all. Like Jujutsu Kaisen, like that game was horrible. It was horrible. Not like nobody playing Jujutsu Kaisen, and nobody is playing Storm Connection. As much as I hate to say it, not many people are playing Storm Connection. It's the truth. And for something like that to be like actually like to be said, and for that to actually be just a real development where Storm Connect is just not popping off anymore. It's just not, nobody's really talking about it anymore, and nobody seemingly is caring about the DLC character, whether like the character that just came out, the characters that just came out like Haguruma, or the leaked characters that we're getting in the future. I believe it was just to name a few: Ishiki, Boruto with the Karma, Borishiki, my bad, and then Kawaki with the Karma, and Kuroha or whatever her name is. We already know what the leaked characters are, but I just don't think people are going to stick around for whenever those characters actually do release. I do think I do think that CC2 is probably just trying to get this game just all the DLC out of the way so they could just move on to the next game. I just don't feel like they're that passionate. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe they are passionate and trying to revive this game, but if they are, I truly wish them the best because this game, like the Storm series deserves a lot more than what we actually got, and it's just sad to see how it it it, it just wasn't really worth the full. I think it was $50. It wasn't really worth the full $50. A lot of people did say that how we should wait for a discount, and honestly, I kind of do agree because honestly, I personally like if you're gonna spend money on Storm Connection on the Storm series as a whole, just buy Storm 4 or buy the Storm Legacy collection 1 to 3 and then 4 and then you're good. And I believe 1 to 3 and 4 is cheaper than Storm Connection right now. And to be honest, that is a much better experience because not only do you get the full package of 1 to 3, you actually get the really great storytelling of 4. Now, don't get me wrong, the Boruto Nananashi story, that was great, but I mean, Storm 4 is an entirely different beast. I think everyone can say everyone loves the story there, and Storm Connection, it just doesn't match that energy level. But we're just gonna have to see whether or not CC2 future DLC will captivate the audience. I personally don't think it will. Do you think that are you gonna stick around for whatever the DLC are gonna come, or are you even playing Storm Connection for that matter? That's what I want to know in the comments below. Well, but with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next one.